Hey everyone, Trial by Fire here. Quick little critique of Hunt 1.0's UI. I'm not a UI designer, but I'm really passionate. I love this game, and I want to see it do as well as it can, and I think the UI could use some improvement on 1.0. So first off, this is the screen you load into. If we just take a look around, we have Lobby, Bloodlines, Roster, Recruitment, Store, Leaderboards, and Library. And with each of those tabs, we have multiple sub-tabs. So under Lobby, we have Bounty Hunt, Quick Play, Contracts, Challenge, and Last Match. We have Bloodlines, which has Progress, Statistics, and Rank Unlocks. We have Roster, which has Overview, Equipment, Upgrades, and Respecs. Recruitment, which has Recruits, Soul Survivors, and Legendary Hunters. Oh yeah. We also have our Store, which gives us weapons, legendaries, tools, consumables, and blood bonds, which of course is not in the game yet. So next tab is leaderboards, and then we also have library, which includes all of our 3 books for the moment, and legal notes and credits. So let's start with the lobby. Now, I have some major complaints about the lobby. It is the first thing you pop up onto, and it gives you next to no information you need to play the game, other than what contract you have selected, what bonuses you're getting, and what servers you're on, and what you're allowing. It will show you your hunter. You can see your primary and secondary weapons, but no other information. And as we all know, us hunt veterans, there's a lot more important things than seeing what people look like that you're playing with. So if we look here, the only way from this to see what we have equipped is to either go to Modify Hunter, which will bring up the Roster tab up here, or to select Roster, and it'll bring you to the same screen. Now you can actually equip your hunter, and you can actually know what in the world they have on them. In my opinion, this is a very roundabout way of getting players into games. It's not streamlined at all to what is currently on live servers right now. On live servers, you start on the Bloodlines tab, and then most people just go straight to recruitment, which will show you, which is essentially what this page is right now, which will tell you everything you need to know about your hunter right now: what their name is, what their health chunks are, what their weapons are, what their tools and consumables are. And the really weird thing about this is that they said they were redoing the whole lobby thing to make it easier to play the game. Well, now I literally must click a button every time I try to play the game to get another hunter set up. I can't do that from the lobby. We need to be able to set our hunter up and know what our hunter has from the lobby, not hitting Modify Hunter and then having to go back to lobby. Why do I need to click buttons so I can click more buttons? Why can't I just, in lobby, why can't our lobby just be basically our roster page? And set, the other hunter here, put this somewhere else, and I really hate having traits across the bottom. It's a lot of real estate to cover with your eyes when you're looking at it. 1.0, live servers right now have our traits, well, where the guns are, and the guns where the health chunks are. Why in the world is that different? Honestly. Why are we expanding? Why are we using more of our screen to look at the same amount of stuff? It makes next to no sense to me. So yeah, that's kind of my rant about that part of the lobby screen. Also, contracts is good. You can hit that there. You don't have to go up here and click contracts. That's very nice. Quick play, yeah, whatever, it does its job. Challenges, okay, that's nice. No complaints there. Last match, it's fine for me as well. I don't really care all that much about it. It does its job. Bloodlines. Oh boy. Bloodlines. These should not be 2 separate tabs. The most important thing about progression is knowing where you're going. All this does is filling up a bar. all we're doing here is filling up a bar. There's no real good information on this page. It tells us our challenges, our prestige, and how much we filled up an arbitrary bar. This bar, Hunt devs, means absolutely nothing. It looks great. I like the way it looks. It doesn't have any ugly colors on it. It's not too bright or colorful, which I think is really important in this game. No, the real thing that we're actually caring about in this game is this right here. Rank unlocks. That's the only thing we care about in progression. Progression is moving forward. If we don't see what we're moving to, it doesn't matter. This screen right here should be stuck on underneath this to show us where we're going. You have to go to another page to know where you're going. That or the store page as well. Statistics page, no complaints here. I think it's fine. Does its job well. Alright, rosters. Again, like I said already, not a big fan of having this down here. When I try to buy a new weapon, right? Let's see here. Say like the Deadeye. You can double click, and typically it's going to try to throw that up there. Except it won't, because I now have to click it again and equip. I'm not a huge fan. Let me try this. Let's see. So to buy a new weapon, as you can see, I don't have one right now. No ×1. I have my large slot collected. Double click. I have it now, and now I have to hit equip. Really, really counterintuitive, in my opinion. Why can't I just go in here and it like when I buy this gun, like I'm in equipment, I'm trying to equip my hunter. Why are you making me hit extra buttons to simply just do what I want? Also, I hate these green check marks. They're terrible, but more on that later. Why are you making me click more buttons to equip my hunter? Why can't I just go click here and buy and equip? Why can't I have a buy and equip button? Also, this buy button is way over here. Why? That's almost as far away from the screen as you can get from buying weapons. I don't see how that makes sense for console players. I don't see how that makes sense for mouse and keyboard players. Why isn't buy? Also, why do you have clean setup? We don't... I know it's to make money, and money's important to make games, but why don't we have buy down here, sell all? It should go buy, equip, and clean. If you really want to have your clean right there, bright and pretty. This should not be lit up, because my eyes go buy something and then I hit clean. I've done it a few times. It's like, I mean, 2 blood bonds, that's easy to get, but the point still remains. My eyes are drawn to clean, not buy or equip, unless it's like this. Having equip right here, good. Buy should be right next to it. Clean can get shifted over to the side or all the way away. You know, there's filters up here. Filters are nice. They help clean up this terrible mess of a UI that they've put in, with having to look at 2, sometimes 3 different things. If you're looking here, 3 different options. Why in the world do we need that? I don't know. I liked having just the one lawn one across, you know, so you're just looking at like 4 things at a time, and you can scroll through much quicker and identify what you're looking at. Especially once we get to the store page, you'll see what I mean, that you can lose yourself in all of these icons. Now, I've also seen a lot of people talk about how these are, you know, colored, and they don't like it. It doesn't fit with the overall feel of Hunt Showdown at the moment, which I agree with at some level. I think these should either be super desaturated, or you can do what we have with traits and kind of sketch them out to make them look in the same art style as traits. Now, moving on, we have upgrades. This is what I'm talking about with the upgrades. I really think the gun should be done in the same style. If either do it like that or desaturate them. I don't think having a ton I don't think having a ton of color in Hunt is what we really want. This game is dark, this game is gritty, it has horror elements in it. We don't need a whole bunch of brightly lit colors. This style is gorgeous, and I love it. I think we should get our weapons in a similar style at some level, or just desaturate them. I don't really love having the colors here. Alright, I'm going to switch hunters really quick to show you what I mean when I'm talking about the upgrades. Upgrades. So here we can see how many points things cost. That's nice. It tells us both what the big icon is and the icon we will see in game. It'll tell us down here what it actually does. I'm not sure that's the best. This is very small text. This text needs to be much bigger. It's like what, maybe 14 point font. Basically it should be twice the size. This is very important for especially new players. I have like 630 hours in this game. This right here is super important, because it's what the trait does. It's more important than the artwork, as sad as that is. And why is the most important thing what the trait actually does the smallest thing on this screen? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This needs to be bigger and stand out more. Next, moving on, these green check marks. This should be a 50-point perk if they're going to keep it in game. This should be a 45-point trait if they keep it in the game. No one should have access to this. This game is so reliant on sound that anytime you start messing with our ability to hear other hunters, you're giving massive, massive, massive advantage to them. Like, to hear people not jump behind you or fall or climb ladders up to you, that's massive. You're restricting so much of our information by doing that. Same thing with this. Reduce the sound you make while performing melee attacks. Now you can clear stuff faster, and I don't know if this has anything to do with the wind-up charge of, you know, when your hunter pulls back and I have to go. If that changes at all, you can't do that. You can't. Because now we don't know how far away these people are, especially with melee weapons. Alright, mini ran over. Respect. Okay, why in the world did this move? Why in the world did this move? If we look at our overview, it's right here. My eyes think it's going to be up here, but it's not. This side right here, this remove last health chunk, needs to be moved over here. This needs to be put over here. It just reads a little bit better, as your eyes are naturally going to look where things were already. Recruitment. Ugly, ugly, ugly ass green. Also, why is toggle details an option? I'm buying a hunter. I don't really care what their toes look like all that much. This should be... Why is this an option? We should always be seeing what our hunters have. It's probably the most important thing while buying a hunter. Next we have their sole survivors. You know, same gig, stupid green color. Legendary hunters, stupid green color. I hate stupid green colors. Get rid of them. Also, why isn't this just right up there? And why aren't these right here our buttons to buy? I get, like, we have console plebs now in this game, but we don't need to select anything. Like, we can scroll over these. Why isn't this, like, our buy button up here? Like, when we select this, why isn't it a buy button? Then you can, like, scroll down through that and go next. Scroll down through that if you need to look at them. Down here doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Anyways. The store. Alright, first off we'll see we have the weapons, legendaries, tools, consumables, blood bonds. This is of course going to be the premium currency. Yay, love premium currencies. Alright, first complaint. This is a behemoth of a menu. Massive amount of things in here. Like, we do have the hide locked, which helps some, or new, or favorites. Favorites will be nice. Also, you have all the slots you can... and weapon types to filter out. But this is basically saying our UI is so bad we need to add filters. We are so bad at making this readable, we need to add little math here, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different filter types. Alright, on live right now we have a single button, and then we scroll down basically to look at everything, and it's filtered by small, large, and medium. Or you can look at all as well. It's hard to do. I really think with the way this game is built, we should have like Winfield M1873C, the carbine version. And then as soon as we select that, it will pop down, expand a menu of all the other variants. So you'll start with, every single base gun in the game. Just, 1, 2, 3, 4, just in a straight down line. And as you select them, it'll pop down your variants. Why is that not an option? It makes sense to me to do it like this. This 1, 2, 3. It's like, why? I would much rather just be able to select a gun and pop down the variants rather than having to scroll through this massive behemoth of weapons. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. Store page, terrible. Legendaries, also terrible. They all have the gold background, kind of makes it a little hard to read through stuff. I would much prefer just to have looking at like 3 of these in a straight line down like it is on live right now. I'll probably try to add some pictures of live here so you guys can see what I'm talking about, and just so I can scroll through one at a time and look at them, because these are gorgeous, gorgeous guns, right? Gorgeous. Why are we only looking at like half of them? Why don't we just have one big icon right there to look at this massive, beautiful legendary and just have another one underneath of it? Doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Tools. I have the same issues with weapons. It's just not as bad because we don't have to look at as many things. Consumables. Ugly, 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 ugly. Also, we should have the same, click one, drop down, click one, drop down. Maybe you do 4 across. You can keep that if you really feel attached to it, Hunt, or Crytech. But it also helps our readability to know what comes next. I mean, yes, you can read this, but I'm not playing this game so I can read menus to try to figure out how you set things up. Blood bombs, like I said, will come. Leaderboard, no issues there. Library, legal notes, credits. Why did we lose our Louisiana history of events from live servers? That's like a really cool world. That's like a really cool world building and lore book for us. Why did you get rid of it? It brings us into your world. It gives us a ton of immersion, knowing what's going on. But like I said earlier, it's like, why you're breaking some of your lore here, and then also, why is these ugly green colors a thing, man? It's so nasty looking. Oh, and while I'm here, one thing I forgot to talk about is this lock. I think this lock should go in the middle. It's easier to read it that way. This is a very nice thing to have, but I'd much rather have the lock in the middle to see that it's locked, and also graying out rather than the green check mark if we've already selected something. Just gray it out like this and move this lock right here with a rank 17 underneath of it to tell us this is locked, and then we can just get rid of that stupid ugly green check mark and use this grayed out on stuff we've already equipped our hunter with. Alright, so that's my little rant on Hunt 1.0. Alright, thank you for watching and have a good one.